in order to improve the efficiency of a company or an organization, sharing of resources will going to play an important role. What is the abbreviation of this ARPANET? So it includes the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, and it is important for 1 mark. Application layer will going to help the user. So this HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol will going to help us in order to access the web pages over the internet. Hello everyone, welcome to the chapter 15 of your second PUC's Computer Science, that is Networking Concepts. I am Rohini TS, lecturer, Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So in our today's session, we are going to discuss about this chapter 15, that is Networking Concepts. So in our today's session, we will be discussing about the introduction part of this chapter, and also I am going to discuss regarding what are the goals of network we have. So first we will get to know what do you mean by network or networking, and also we will going to learn about this networking goals. After that, we are going to learn about the need of networking. So what are the benefits or advantages that we are going to get with the help of this networking, and also I will be discussing about the ARPANET. So before the internet, we had a thing that is nothing but ARPANET here. I am going to discuss about its abbreviation and who invented this, from which organization, everything that I am going to discuss. So along with that, main important part is OSI Reference Model. And also we have that one more model, that is TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol bar Internet Protocol. This will be the content of my today's session. So now we'll see about the definition of this network. So as we all know that if I wanted to communicate with one another, or if I wanted to share a file, or if I wanted to share some data and information over the internet, then this network will going to play a vital role. Then what do you mean by network here? We'll see the definition. A network is an interconnected collection of an autonomous computer that can share and exchange information. So here you have to understand autonomous in the sense independent computer. So it is just a collection of independent computer, and each computer has an ability in order to share and exchange the information from one computer to another computer. That interconnection of all those computers will be considered as what? Network. So now we'll see what are the network goals we can expect. So what are the network goals we have? So out of this, we can have a resource sharing, reliability will be there, cost factor, and communication medium. So when it comes to the resource sharing, so as we all know that when it comes to the organization, data and information will going to be considered as an asset, right? So all the data and information needs to be shared from one computer system to another computer system. And I wanted to share a file, or I wanted to share some of the records or information with the help of this internet, or I wanted to exchange the data and information from one computer to another computer system. Then how it will going to be established? When we have this network. So when there is a capability or capacity of exchanging the data from one computer to another computer, then resource can be shared. So that is what the first goal of sharing this resources. So that resource can be any electronic devices or e-documents, even printers. So all those comes under this resource sharing. So when there is more resource sharing, then the communication will going to be high. So that is the thing which we are going to learn with this first goal of network with respect to resource sharing. So next we have reliability. Reliability in the sense we can trust. So when it comes to the reliability, you have to understand one thing. So consider you have one document or you have one file. So that file in the internet or over the network, it is not only located in a single place. So it will going to have a multiple copies. If something goes wrong with one copy and you can get the another copy, that means we can trust that you are there is no chance of losing the data, or there is no chance of losing those e-documents. That is what reliable. We can trust the system. There will be more than one copy in the computer, there will be more than one copy in the network, so that we can trust that and we can surely get that resources back to us. So that is reliability. Then what about this cost factor? If we wanted to have this network, you just require one personal computer than having a microcomputer. So when it comes to the personal computer and microcomputer will going to cost more, but personal computer is reasonable cost. So if you have a personal computer with internet connection, then you are going to get the benefit of all these networking. That is cost factor. When it comes to the cost factor is also reasonable. It's not so expensive. That is what cost factor is all about. And also we have a communication medium. So you just imagine one organization or any of the company. At that time, manager wanted to make a decision, like if they get to know what is the data and information and how you are supposed to collect all those data and information. So with the help of this network, they are going to share resources, or they are going to share a files. So that will going to help them in order to make a better decision. So that in order to improve the efficiency of a company or an organization, sharing of resources will going to play a important role. So that resource sharing can be takes place and manager can make a best decision when there is a chance of sharing a resources. So that will be possible with the help of this network. So these are the networking goals that we have in the network. That is what we can share a resource and we can trust that, and when it comes to the cost, it is reasonable. And communication medium, this network will going to work as a communication medium. Why? Because it is allowing us to share the data and information from one computer to another computer. So when there is a place or when there is a capability of sharing the information and data, then there will be more chances of getting more information, so that we can trust the system. So these are the goals of this network. We'll see the next topic, that is regarding need of networking. So you got to know what you mean by networking and what are the goals. So for example, if I'm using a network, at the time I can trust that and resource can be shared, and when it comes to the cost, it is not so expensive and we can use this as a communication medium. Then what are the advantages or what are the needs of having this networking? What are the benefits I can get out of it? We'll see now. First is what? File sharing provides sharing and grouping of data files over the network. So we can share multiple files over this network. The main thing is what? In order to share a file, as I told, data and information is an asset to the organization. So if there is a chance of sharing this file, then that will going to improve the efficiency of an organization in order to make a better decision. So that file sharing can be takes place and grouping all those data files over the network. That is the first point or a first advantage or need of this networking. So next, printing sharing of computer resources such as hard disk and printers, etc. So you just imagine you are working in some organization, or if you are working in some of the company. At that time, you just imagine you have 100 computers or you have 100 workstations. So I can't provide 100 printers. That means I can't provide printer for each computer. Instead of that, what I can do, I will connect all the computer to single printer, or else I will take only 2 printers and I will connect 50 computers with one printer, and I will connect another 50 computers with another printer. That means this will going to save the cost, and also it will save the time, and also it saves the resource. That means we can have a efficient usage of a resource. So when we have this network, at the time one or more computer can be communicated to each other. So with the help of that single printer, I can get a print from all the 50 computers. So that will going to save the cost of having more printer. So that is what printer can be shared here when we have this network, or when we have the collection or interconnection of the autonomous computer. So that, and in the same way we can also share the hard disk. So content in the hard disk can be shared from one computer system to another computer system. File sharing can be takes place, and grouping of those files data can be takes place with the help of this network. And also we can share the resources like printer and hard disk. Next, email tools for communication with the email address. So as we all know that in the organization or in any of the company, we are going to use this email as a main communication medium. So this email service can be takes place along with this network. That means when there is a chance of sharing a data and information over the internet, when the computers are interconnected to each other, then there will be a chance of communication. So that email will going to be used with the help of this networking. And also remote access, able to access the data and information around the globe. So remote access in the sense what? Consider you are here, but your system is at your home, but you wanted to access the content of that system. So at the time, what you can do? So you can have a remote access. That means you can have a telnet. So with the help of that, you can access the content of your computer system without going there physically. That means you are going to access the data and information which is resides in your computer system with the help of this remote access to the content. So that is the next need or advantage of having this networking. What is the next point? So here, sharing the database to multiple users at the same time by ensuring the integrity. So we can share the content of this database. So already we got to know about the database. So database is what? Collection of logically related data. So if this database is connected to the network, at the time multiple user can access the same data at a time. No need to wait for one another. So it is not sequential, it will going to take place dynamically. So these are the advantages or need of having this networking. How to remember all those things? File can be shared and we can have this printer sharing, or we can share the resources like hard disk and printer, and email tools can be available with the help of this networking. That email can be sent with the help of this email address, and also you can have the remote login or remote accessing of the data. So without having the physical movement, you can access the content of that system when you are able to have this remote access. So and also you can share the database content to the multiple user at a time, along with this advantages of networking. How to remember all these things? So first we have a file sharing, and also we have a printer sharing, and then we have email, then we have remote access, then sharing of the databases. So these are the simple keywords in order to remember the need of resource or need of the networking. So file sharing and printer sharing, email services, and also we have a remote access. At last we have a sharing of database. So these are the need of networking. We'll see the next topic, that is ARPANET. So before the internet, we have this ARPANET. What is the abbreviation of this ARPANET? So it includes the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, and it is important for 1 mark. Define ARPANET or abbreviate this ARPANET. So that includes Advanced Research Project Agency Network. What you have to understand with respect to this ARPANET, you just imagine or you just understand this is the first network, world's first operational packet switching network. It is based on this, or it is implemented with the help of this TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol. So that you have to understand, and it can also be asked for 2 marks. Learn its definition, that means its acronym, and initially it was maintained by ARPA. So that is Advanced Research Project Agency. So then it has been takes place by defense. So it has been used with a military purpose in order to share the confidential data that has been used with the military services of USA. So then later it got the priority, or it got the popularization, and it can be considered as the world's first in operational packet switching network. Mainly you have to understand its abbreviation, and it has been created or maintained by this ARPA. Then that has been takes place with the help of this the ARPA, and then mainly it has been used in order to implement this TCP/IP model. This is regarding ARPANET. We'll see the next important topic, that is with respect to OSI Reference Model. Very important topic, and here we have 7 layers in this OSI reference model. So that includes application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer. At last we have a physical layer. So why we are going to use this OSI reference model? So you just imagine we have 2 computers. Consider I have computer 1 and I have computer 2. I just wanted to share some of the data and information from computer 1 to computer 2. So at the time, how the communication will going to take place, and how the data and information from the computer 1 will going to be shared with this computer 2. So or else you can consider this C1 or a computer 1 as also host, and this is also another one. That is what it will be considered as 2 nodes or a 2 computers. So first, what is the first layer we have? So we have to mark like this. So it will be from bottom to top. So totally we have 7 layers. So first what we have here, that is application layer. So you just imagine you wanted to send some of the data and information over the WhatsApp. So which is the application now? That is WhatsApp. So in the application layer, this will allow us, or it will going to help us in order to use the application that you wanted to use in order to share the data and information. So in this application layer, we are going to have this HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that help us in order to share the content over the help of this application. So this mainly application layer will going to help the user. So this HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol will going to help us in order to access the web pages over the internet. Next, what we have here, we have presentation layer. So in this presentation layer, it will going to help us in order to specify the syntax and semantics of the data and information which needs to be transmitted from one layer to another layer. So all these are the bidirectional. So I can exchange the data from this application layer to presentation layer, and I can exchange the data from this presentation layer to session layer. All these will going to have a bidirectional. Imagine now I wanted to share some data and information over the internet. First I have to choose which application or app I wanted to use in order to share the data and information. That will going to be used in the application layer with the help of this HTTP or Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So this will allow us to have the access to web pages. So then next I have a presentation layer. So that specify how the syntax and semantics of that data, that means how it must be, that will going to be represented with the help of this presentation layer. So next what we have here, that is session layer. So session layer indicates what? So as we all know that when you are applying something over the internet, so if you made that web page needs to be waited for some time, at that time you are going to get one dial-up tone, or you are going to get one dial-up message like what? So session expired. That means there will be some specific time in order to access or in order to have a transaction over the internet. So at that time got over, you are going to get a message like session expired. So you can also take the example of ATM. So if it is asking you to enter the PIN number, so if you didn't reply or if you didn't give the PIN for several times, at that time it will going to give you one notification, that is session expired. In the same way, so if the presentation layer is not sending the data to the session layer within a certain period of time, at that time it will consider that there is no data and information which needs to be transmitted from one computer to another computer. So the session layer is also going to take place, or it will also going to provide the service like session management and token management, and also it will going to take care with this synchronization. Takes care about the synchronization. So if you consider the YouTube videos only, at that time, so whatever you are seeing, that means whatever the video is coming, if it is not matching with the voice, then you can say that there is no synchronization between the voice and video. So who is going to take care about all these things? That will going to be done with the help of this session layer. So after that, next we have a transport layer. So this transport layer will going to take care whether we got all the data. So that means did I got the last data in order to get to know this is the end of the data and information which I wanted to send from one computer to another computer system. So this transport layer main work is to what? It will going to get the data from this session layer. So here I will assign, or I will get to know which application I am using. Here it will going to say, tell me the syntax and semantics of the data, and it will going to take care about the synchronization. Then the session layer will going to send the data and information to this transport layer. So if there is necessary, this transport layer will going to split the data into number of small packages. So then it will going to check whether I got all the values or whether I got all the data and information. Then it will going to send this data and information to the next layer, that is to the network layer. So this network layer will going to get the packets, or it will going to get the data from this transport layer, and it will going to align, or it will going to arrange the data or packets from source to destination. Then that will going to be shared with this data link layer. It will check for the errors. So is there any mistake, or did it got missed with any of the packets from source to destination? Everything will going to be checked in this data link layer, and it will going to link all the packets together in a synchronized form. So then it will reach to the physical layer by this data link layer. In the physical layer, as the name indicates, everything will going to be converted into zeros and ones, which can be understood by the computer system. And this physical layer will going to deal with the mechanical electrical signals or data. So once it got from application layer to physical layer, again this will going to be sent from this computer system to this computer system. Again it will going to have a zeros and ones. Then it will going to check for the errors in the data link layer. Then it will going to be transmitted from this data link layer to network layer. So this network layer will going to check for the packets, which is what perfect form of source to destination. If it is true, then again it will going to be transferred to this transport layer. Then this transport layer will going to check, or it will going to take care about, did I got all the pieces of data? If yes, then it will going to be sent to the session layer. In the session layer, it will going to make a synchronization, and it also going to take care about the sessions and token management and dial-up messages. Then if it is okay, then this present session layer will going to send this packets to the presentation layer. Again this presentation layer will going to check for the syntax and semantics. So as this per the rule, and is it containing as a standard format? So if it is yes, then it will going to reach to the application layer. So in the application layer, user can view the data and information which is transferred from one computer system to another computer system. This is what exactly happen behind when you are sending one message from one computer system to another computer system, or when we are sharing a data from one node or one workstation to another workstation. It's very important and it is easy to understand. You just imagine and work with all the layers. Totally we have 7 layers here, and consider this is one host or one computer, this is another computer. So here we are sharing a data and information. So for that purpose we are going to use this OSI reference model. In the same way, we also have this TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. So here you can see the difference between this OSI model and TCP/IP model. So here we had 7 layers. So but here we have only 4 layers. So by having or by merging all the 3, that is session layer, presentation, application layer, I'm just going to call this as a application layer. So all the operation of this presentation and session layer will going to be combined together, and it will going to be considered as completely application layer. And also we have a transport layer, then network and data link layer, so that will be considered as internet here, and here we have a network interface. So these are the layers that we have in a TCP/IP. So now we'll see about this TCP/IP. As we all know that whether it is OSI reference model or TCP/IP model, the main concern is what? In order to have a reliable communication from one computer to another computer system, mainly we are establishing a relationship, or mainly we are establishing a communication between the two computer system that must be reliable. That means if I'm sending some data and information, I must be make sure that the data needs to be sent from source to destination without changing anything in between. So for that purpose we are going to have this OSI reference model as well as this TCP/IP reference model. So after this OSI reference model, so we have this TCP/IP. So TCP/IP in the sense Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. It mainly relies on the IP address. So this TCP/IP is a layered set of protocol. This protocol assumes that there is a way to communicate reliable between the two computers. There must be a reliable communication between one computer system to another computer system, and this TCP is responsible for making sure that the commands get through the other end. So whatever we are sending the data and information, that must reach to its destination. That is regarding this transmission control protocol. So it will going to take care about the transmission or a transaction of data from one computer to another computer system. So that TCP/IP is the base communication protocol for the internet. So if I say internet, the base thing is what? This TCP/IP protocol, and this TCP/IP is built on connectionless technology. Information is transmitted as a sequence of data grams. So it is not connection oriented, and it is connectionless protocol. That is TCP/IP is a connectionless protocol. We can send the data and information as a sequence of data grams. So each data grams will going to hold the data and information, and that will going to be sent from source to destination without missing anything, so that we can have this reliable communication between the two computers with the help of this TCP/IP layers. So a datagram is a unity of data, which is what protocol deals with. So you can see the definition of this datagram here. It is a collection of data or a unity of data what this protocol wanted to share, or what this protocol wanted to deal with. That is datagram. It will going to have a sequence of datagram, and each datagram will going to hold some data and information which needs to be sent from source to destination without missing anything. So this TCP/IP is a two-layer program. So first higher layer is what? TCP/IP, that is transmission control protocol. Next layer is IP, that is internet protocol. So what this TCP will going to do? It will going to manage is the assembling of a message or a file into smaller packets that are transmitted over the internet. You just imagine you wanted to send some data and information from one computer to another computer. TCP will going to take care, or it will going to manage all the datagrams are package. So it will going to assemble all those messages or file which needs to be sent over the internet. For example, consider this is 1, 3, 2, 4. At the time when I wanted to share, or when I wanted to send this datagrams or packets from one computer to another computer system over the internet, this TCP will going to take care about managing or assembling all these together. So which I wanted to share over the internet, everything will going to be allocated or assigned, and that will going to be managed by this TCP. That is the higher layer of this TCP/IP protocol. Next we have a lower layer, that is internet protocol. That is also considered as what? IP, or an internet protocol, that handles the address part of each packet so that it gets to the right destination. So when I am sending all these over the internet, this IP will going to take care about managing, or it will going to take care about reaching all these datagrams or packet to the right destination, so that without missing anything or without having unsynchronized data and information, we can get a reliable data and information from source to destination with the help of this TCP/IP, that is transmission control protocol. So here you can see the difference between this OSI model and TCP/IP model. All the layer will going to perform its own operation. So we are going to use OSI reference model and TCP/IP model in order to have a reliable communication over the internet. I hope you all understood. Let me meet you in the next session. Until that, keep learning, keep on growing. Thank you.